Welcome back to Pink Slip Pavilion. It's Wednesday, our favorite day of the week. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button so you never miss a story. Every week, we're in the pavilion sharing real stories from real people who have gone through a layoff and come out the other side better off. This week, we have Diane Adams sharing her story from corporate control to self-control.
This pink slips the start, not the end.
Welcome to Pink Slip Pavilion, Diane. We're so excited to hear your story.
Well, thank you for inviting me on.
Absolutely. And we have to start with the most important question, which is, have you ever gotten a pink slip?
I have to say it wasn't pink, but I did get a piece of paper.
Tell us more. Set the stage. What
Okay.
happened and what was going on?
All right, I have been working with this company for 4 solid years, full-time management, running the whole show, trying to keep it afloat. And it entailed me doing a lot of compliance work for the agents. And so then the company sold, and I thought, okay, good. It's sold. We have somebody solid. I was looking forward to the transition with the new owner because of course, I researched her a little bit and I went, wow, okay, she's a mover and a shaker. She's going to be able to do something as far as being backing up the company money-wise and it not being on shaky ground as it was for 4 years that I was there. And the owners they were out of state in California. And anyway, so I thought everything was the transition, everything was going well. And except for because of the company's positioning as far as ratings go, it was really difficult for me to try to recruit new people to join. And that is what was used to replace me, is that I did not keep up with the recruiting quota, which you would think that the new owner would understand because of the situation with that office, that it wasn't that easy to recruit. So anyway, I thought things were moving along. I was having a little difficulty with front desk and who we could hire. I went through a few people that just couldn't do it, couldn't learn the systems. And I was trained. The new owner sent a gal down from Eugene to spend a day training me on the new systems because she likes to micromanage. So she was using programs like Trello and, anyway, she wanted to know every single thing that was happening that day. You had to put in what the tasks were that you were going to try to complete for the day. Because of course, there's a lot more to the real estate business than just recruiting.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in a very good position to be able to recruit. I know how to recruit, but it wasn't happening. So anyway, after she bought it, we went through the transition. We got into the holiday times, and I received like a 6-page how to plan a Christmas potluck party at the office step by step.
Wow.
And I went, I've been in this a long time. I've been in real estate a long time. I was brought up with my mother's company in Honolulu, and I went, okay, I can, I've been running these people for 4 years. I'm just going to do kind of what we always do. And so I went off her agenda a little bit, and she was very upset with that. So we did have a conversation on the phone, and I went, well, I thought maybe you wanted it to be a little more classy. And boy, that didn't go well. I think my problem with her is that she's really successful. She's younger than I am by about 20 years. And I think I was more treating her like a peer than all of a sudden the new boss owner. And I think that's what she didn't like. That was kind of a rub. I mean, I was just being me because I've been doing this for a long time. And so anyway, so I think that that was part of the problem. And plus I knew all the old information about the old company and what had happened and what I knew all the dirty little secrets. So I think she also wanted me gone because of that. And then there's the age thing because I am older. I mean, my mom hung up her real estate license when she turned 90. She closed her corporation.
Wow.
And she's going to be 95 this October. But she was running business in Hawaii, and Hawaii is a little different, but not. It's even harder. So anyway, so how it came down is I didn't have a clue this was happening. So after Christmas, after January, we're starting the new year. Everybody's anticipating the real estate market's going to get better. Interest rates get better. There's buyers sitting on the fence. And she was starting to push for the recruiting, and she wanted me to at least recruit a minimum of 2 people a month. So she and I had that conversation. And little did I know that there was underlying things that were going on that I didn't find out till the day that it happened. So all of a sudden she came, we have our office meetings and the whole group came. I had a really good turnout for the office meeting. I show up at the office to do the meeting, and the owner walks in the same time the meeting was going to start. So everybody was there. And then she asked me to to go into my office to talk. And and so I still wasn't sure. I thought maybe she was letting go the front desk girl because she was a little bit rough. Rough meaning her dress and she collected rocks, and so her hands were dirty. Seriously. I mean, she just wasn't quite office material, but she was okay. She was okay. She was trying. And so I thought that's what was coming down because the owner had actually asked me the beginning of January to keep a daily record on when she came in, what did she accomplish, what she do. So I was reporting on her every day, besides doing the other everyday micromanaging lists. So so anyway, I was looking at it like, because I prepare for my meetings, I usually go through the statistics, go through what new listings, go through the latest legal changes that are going on, what the atmosphere is, and try to make it a learning experience for the agents. And also going through what new listings they've gotten or the latest sale they had. So I do prepare. So I had my little I had a couple pieces of paper with my notes on it and a couple handouts ready to send out to them on insurances that we have to get for the houses. Anyway, and there is the new owner. There's me. We go into my office, and I have a whole room full of people that are outside the store. Anyway, she proceeds to tell me, and she did bring another office gal with her from the Eugene office with a check. She was ready. So she had my final paycheck, and then she said the main reason was because I wasn't making my recruiting quota for her. And I tried to have a conversation with her on that. And backing up a little bit, at the Christmas party, she asked me how old I was. And
Mm.
I know that that's not supposed to happen, but she did in front of a lot of people. And I thought, okay, well, I can't lie to her. She has my records. you know what I mean? Why would so, and I'm a truthful person anyway. So I told her how old I was, and I'm 73. So, and that was in front of a few people. And so when we were in the room in my office, when she was telling me that I was being discharged with a white piece of paper,
She should have at least dyed it pink.
I don't know. And then that would have not surprised me if she gave me a pink one.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah. So anyway, so that's how it came down. So it was kind of embarrassing. So I did have a, back and forth with her a little bit going, why? Wait, what are you doing? I've never had anybody do this to me. I haven't. I've never had someone do this. I've always been in a position of power more than being under someone else that has that power. And I was just a regular, normal realtor before that, just selling houses. So you're an independent contractor. So it was kind of, I couldn't figure out besides the recruiting, I couldn't figure out what else she didn't like, except that maybe I was treating her more like a peer than a boss.
So, what was your mindset in the moment? Obviously, you mentioned a little bit of embarrassment, but what was your mindset? Now you've lost your job, you didn't see it coming. Where are you at mentally in that moment?
It actually, well, it was a surprise. Um, I did not fall apart. I didn't, start crying or anything like any emotional, like anything like that. I am used to standing up and talking to people when I have to. I can run meetings and things like that. So I just went into a different frame of mind and went, okay, I'm going to handle this like a lady. I'm going to be handling it like a boss lady, even though she's the boss lady owner, and she was actually replacing me. And she also had the gal she was replacing me with there that morning. She was out in the crowd with the rest of the group. And so and then I found out, so it was pretty quick. It was pretty quick because she wasn't going to change her mind. She didn't drive down here from Eugene, to go, oh, well, everything's fine. So she actually had a plan in place that she was going to replace me that day. I had to move all my things. So I wasn't ready. So because I teach classes. So I had different things going on that I didn't have anything packed ready to move.
Yeah. Evolve for you.
Pardon?
How did your mindset evolve out of that? So this was a moment in time, you lost your job. Mentally, it was very challenging. Now, how has your mindset evolved kind of growing through the experience?
To be honest with you, I was kind of hurt. And I didn't understand, because I didn't have any control. Um, so it happened, and I couldn't talk to anybody for about 6 weeks. I have to be honest, really. I just felt, and I was embarrassed. A lot of people were there, and the community is not a large community, and they all talk to each other. And I didn't really have anything to say because it was all her doing this. Although I did find out right after she discharged me, I got a text from one of the agents that was really good friends with the person who replaced me. And he admitted in the text message to me, he wrote a very long text message that I have, that he had been in contact with our new owner and had been pushing her to meet with his friend that he wanted to have in my position because she was a better fit. Anyway, the new owner and he talk every day. They've been talking every day for months. So I knew that that friendship was happening, but I didn't know to what extent, that he had weight on her, except for a business deal that she invested in that was his friends. So there was more coming out from underneath this. And that kind of made me a little angry a little bit because I went, wait, that's not fair. That's not fair. But business is business, and I know business is cutthroat. I had, when I was working in Hawaii, it was really evident, you had to be careful of all the agents because it's a cutthroat business. And, everybody's smiling and looking wonderful, but they're really cutthroat underneath it all. Whatever is best for them.
Yeah.
And so I was a little angry. I withdrew a little bit when it first happened. I needed just to come back to center for myself before I could decide what I was going to do. Because I'm a licensed person, and plus because I was so entrenched in that company for so long, there was a long trail of my name on everything that had to be changed. So there was a lot of transition things that I just did. I just did them, I just did them as they came up. And I didn't push back on them. I didn't say anything bad about that company or any of the people. I decided I just wasn't going to go down that road, and I was going to get myself back to center and then figure out what I wanted to do.
Good for you. It's very
Yeah.
easy to go down the negative road. So it's good that you focused on getting back to center in yourself and figuring out what does Diane want next. So what did you do next? Where are you now?
So I did, I really didn't even shop around because I've been doing business here long enough where I know most of the companies and the people that run them. And so I went ahead and moved over to Windermere, which is a family-owned operation. He has like 3 offices. They own them. He's been around. I I've known him forever, and they cater more to I would say, I don't want to say middle class, upper middle class and high-end homes, but it's real good, solid residential real estate. And good people. There's good people here that I've known for a long time. And there's not a lot of drama. I mean, it's quiet. When I first came, I was like, wow, it's so nice and quiet. But everybody's working inside their offices. I mean, there's a lot of people working, and they have their deals up on the board. They're number 3 because we have EXP, John L. Scott, and then Windermere. So I don't know. I decided I didn't want to do John L. Scott. I didn't want to do EXP. I needed to place my license because you have to, otherwise you're inactivating it. I called the owner and I just said, can I come on board as a brand new agent? Just treat me like a brand new agent, because now all of a sudden I am flipping roles instead of teaching agents, how to write contracts and do addendums. I'm not teaching anymore. Trying, because I gave away a lot of my clients through the years being in management, because I was all for the company. I was all for helping the agents get ahead. I was, doing that. But what I did is it wasn't doing any favors for me, because a lot of my clients then have new agents that they're working with through the years. So I'm in the middle of getting hold of, my database, getting it together. And actually, because I did do the foreclosures during the foreclosure times, I went 10 years back and started pulling names and then cross-referencing to make sure that they were still in the house or whatever. and sending out little notes. I'm writing them because I figured everybody throws away the ones that aren't pre-printed. I started writing some notes and saying, "Hey, I'm back. I'm out of management, over at Midmur. I haven't seen you for a long time. Let's get together and have coffee or give me a call." So I just started doing that, and I actually had one of my old clients call me
That's
and say
great.
how happy she was that I got a hold of her. And yeah, and so we're going to get together some point in the next couple of weeks. And I sold them their main house. I sold about 4 properties for them. And she's heavily into her ranch. And so that's where they stayed. She knows a lot of people, so I know she'll refer me out, try to help the best she can. But I got one.
Which is awesome. So I think that's a great segue into blessings. What blessings came out of this experience? Had that not happened, what would you have missed out on from in your life where you're at now?
Um, I think I was so consumed with trying to make that office work and get better, that I wasn't taking care of myself. And so the blessing that I see is now I'm back to doing my business and taking care of myself and not putting the office in front of that, because I didn't own that office. Someone should have said, "Diane, you don't own that office." So I gave a lot of my time and energy, hoping I was doing the right thing and helping the agents stay in business also. And when the blessing is that I left, that I'm gone, I'm away from, I didn't leave, well, I had to leave because I was discharged, but that I got myself out of that environment and into a new environment that's happy. Because I love real estate and I was losing my happy.
So powerful because I'm envisioning you literally being set free and realizing that you were chained down and not like in the moment you didn't see that, but now you're returning to yourself and that happy version of yourself and that passion you have for your industry. That's huge.
Yeah. So it took that to get me out of there because I was bound and determined to try to make a success out of it. And so it's good. And spoke to my sister on the phone and she said, "Do you feel like you were just let out of jail?" Just about.
I can so relate to trying to make something work that isn't working and just kind of saying, I'm going to die with the ship. And I know a lot of listeners can relate to that probably as well, because often we're so consumed with wanting to succeed in our careers and at our jobs and really truly wanting the best for the business. But like you said, it's not your business. And so there is this point where you have to make a decision, or life may make a decision for you.
Right.
So if you could go back and you could talk to yourself in that moment now with the wisdom that you have, knowing it all works out, what would you want to say to that version of you?
You should have done this 2 years ago.
That's really powerful advice.
I shouldn't have waited. I should have done it 2 years ago. Yeah.
So, wrapping up, if there's somebody who's listening to this right now and they're walking through a layoff currently, they're afraid that maybe termination is coming for them, or maybe they went through this in the past and they're still harboring some of the emotion that comes with these experiences, what would you want to say to them? What advice would you give them?
My advice would be not to be so hard on yourself. As I mentioned, I kind of withdrew a little bit for a short amount of time to try to get back to my center so that I could move on. Because life isn't over because you get dismissed or discharged or you just keep going. I mean, you have to be able to morph a little bit into what's going on in today's world because there's a lot of changes.
Ton.
Yeah, and if you need more training than in certain things, get some training so you can, but it's not your fault. I keep going, was it my fault that I stayed too long? Was it my fault that I couldn't recruit? No, I don't think so. It was it was, it wasn't a company that I could recruit anybody to. It was an impossible task that they gave me to do. Anyway, my advice would be don't be so hard on yourself because I was pretty hard on myself for a few weeks there. And then I went, oh gosh, okay, I'm over it. Life goes on.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't mean I'm going to be here forever either, but I have my own choices. I'm not on a contract. You know, I'm not salaried anymore. And it does get a little scary when you start going, oh, I don't have a paycheck. I'm working for free now.
Yeah, absolutely. Every entrepreneur listening to this will
I
recognize
know
that feeling.
I'm working for free. You can't stop. You have to keep going. You just have to work hard, one foot in front of the other, and try to develop a sense of humor about it. And that would be my advice. Don't let it ruin your life. It's just you hit one dead end there, and you're going to take a right and go somewhere else and see where it brings you. And if you need to up your skills, because everybody has a lot of new computer skills now.
It's forever changing. Well, that's
I
great
know,
advice. Thank you
every
so
day.
much. I really appreciate you coming to the pavilion and sharing your story and being willing to be vulnerable. And
Yeah.
I know this will help a lot of people out there that are currently going through this, maybe staring this down in the future, or maybe are still processing their own emotions and feelings. So thank you so much, Diane.
Well, thank you for having me.
If you've ever wondered if it's too late to start over, I hope that Diane's story will challenge that way of thinking and reframe it for you so that you know that it is never too late to start over and it's never too late to regain your happiness. If you want to connect with Diane, all of her contact information will be in the description of this episode. And if you're not following or subscribed already, you better hit that button and make sure that you never miss a story. We're here every Wednesday proving that pink slips are just power moves in disguise if you're willing to embrace them. I'll see you next week.
This pink slip